Ladies European and LPGA Tours have come together in the beautiful scenic surroundings of Scotland. And this year we've been enjoying the views on the west coast at Dundonald Links, a Carl Phillips design, hosting the Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open for the first time since 2017. The best ever field's been attracted to the home of golf, and it's all set up for a thrilling final day on the North Ayrshire coast. Eunhee Ji looking to win for the second time this season. The former US Women's Open champion, a real threat among the chasing pack. It's a potential career-changing day for Leonie Harm. The German, off the back of a best ever LET finish, starts just one adrift. After a Canadian win last week in Evian, will there be another today in Scotland? Maud Amy LeBlanc will hopefully be hoping the same. But it's two players ranked inside the top 25 in the world, tied at the top. French Solheim Cup star Céline Boutier, along with two-time major champion Lydia Ko, who showed the majesty of her short game on Saturday. 15 under par, the mark after 3 rounds, and 15 players starting the day within 5 shots of the lead. Tournament invite Wishini Mishai in pole position to grab one of the 3 spots available for next week's AIG Women's Open. Good afternoon, welcome. It's the final day then of the Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open 2022, and for the 4th time this event is being played at Dundonald Links at just under 6,400 yards, a par 72 links layout. The weather, well, it's set fine, a little chilly, but a lovely mix, isn't it, of major champions, established winners, few surprise names on the leaderboard. Who is going to lift that, though, at the end of these 72 holes, or maybe we'll need a playoff? We shall see. I'm Richard Kaufman, alongside me is former LET player Sophie Walker. I suppose, Sophie, most people were thinking the win will come from either Ko or Boutier, but can you see a surprise?
Well, yeah, there's certainly some presence at the top of that leaderboard. Ko's name gives maybe a 1 or 2 shot advantage just because of that presence. But there are 10 players within 4 shots of those 2 leaders. And with conditions a lot harder in places because of the wind, you might see them coming back, and they've got nothing to lose. Lydia Ko's the one that won on tour this year on the LPGA. She's expected to win, her or Céline. Could see a surprise.
Well, we should see. There's confirmation. Breeze probably will gust up higher than that 10 miles an hour. Leaders went off just over an hour ago. We'll catch up with what's been going on just a moment. Under par for her round. So, Sophie, that's suggesting there are some birdies to be had.
Absolutely, and a few tees been moved forward as well.
That's going to make the course shorter.
Well, that was a par putt. Sorry, a birdie putt for LeBlanc. She was actually on the green for 2. It just surprised me because how far away she was putting for birdie when she was on the green in 2. But obviously misjudged the line on the first putt. So just a par for LeBlanc, who hasn't yet found the rhythm she had in that brilliant round yesterday. And Lydia Ko finding trouble off the tee at this par 5. So she's got this to make sure she doesn't walk off with a 6.
Those 2 par 5s on 3 and 5, you're not expected to have this length to try and save a par. Coming back down the hill, but into the wind, so that will counteract. Could be one of those dreaded double breakers.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, oh no.
Well, she didn't have a bogey the first 2 days. She threw in a few 3 putts yesterday, 3 bogeys, her first one of the round here, and she's not quite in yet for the 6.
And we've seen that so often this week at Dundonald Links. You can be within 20 feet and the ball is moving 2 ways. So trouble for Ko.
Off to the par 3/6 in the G.
Playing 133 yards today. Beautiful little par 3 hidden amongst the gorse and the trees here.
1 bogey, 1 birdie so far for the winner of the LPGA match play earlier this year. So back to Ko. Boutier had a 6 at the 3rd, and this for a 6 at the 5th for the other overnight co-leader.
You see, just relaxing the shoulders there, trying to free up the tension. Goes left hand low inside 10 feet normally, especially on left to right putts.
So we're talking about the pedigree of the 2 leaders overnight. Both have thrown in a 6 early on here, but it does mean that Boutier, with her birdie at this par 5, has opened up a 2-shot lead now with that 2-shot swing at this par 5.
And that is valuable. We saw a slow start from Lydia Ko yesterday. We wondered if she would get it back. Not really, in all fairness. So Celine Boutier will be thinking, well, 2-shot lead so early on, that is a massive bonus for me. What can I do now?
Back to the par 3/6. This for, I was going to say for a par for Harmonious. Trying to G herself up. I mean, a huge day potentially ahead for the German player.
Oh, massive. This is a co-sanctioned event. So if you win, you can gain status on the LPGA Tour. You can wrap up your status on the Ladies European Tour. A massive day for the German.
There's a few players out there that maybe can sneak up from behind if the leaders do stall. This is certainly one of them.
I think so. Food away. Flagging it into the 8th.
And that's just off the back of birdies at 6 and 7. So one would assume she's going to pop that one in, go to 4 under par for the round and into a share of 2nd place. So Fudaway, certainly someone to look out for. A prolific winner in Japan, won 3 times last year on that tour. So the final 3 ball have reached the par 3/6.
I say hidden amongst the dunes. You struggle to feel what wind there is. It is from the left-hand side, 133 yards. A bunker short, that'll be on the players' minds. There's a good look here. So 27 yards carries that bunker. However, if you go long of this flag, it's an awful put back down the slope. So I like anything pin high, left or right of it. Didn't get all of that, did she? Kind of spun it up in the air, and that's a poor effort from that yardage.
Yeah, we've got proven winners. Boutier Won a couple of times on the LPGA Tour, 3 times on the Ladies European Tour, 17 wins on the LPGA Tour for Lydia Ko, but they're still going to feel the nerves.
It's Alison Lee getting exceptional
What a
control
shot.
out of the thick stuff down the 9th.
What a shot.
Yeah, well, our on-course commentator said it. What a shot it was. LeBlanc just needs something to settle her down. And that might do it. Beautifully done. You just wonder today whether is she going to go full out for the win, or is she going to be trying to protect the top 10 that would pretty much secure playing rights on the LPGA Tour next season. It is lunchtime here. Caterpillar having a little chew. One of my kids' favourite books, that was years ago, The Hungry Caterpillar.
Ko here, she's got plenty of loft in her hand. 9 iron is a good number for her at that yardage of 133.
Well, looking to bounce back, and may well do that, Lydia Ko. It's been a topsy-turvy start. BTA went out in front with a birdie at the 2nd, then she dropped a shot at the 3rd, and Ko birdied that hole. There was a 2-shot swing, so Ko was leading. Now we've seen Boutier make back-to-back birdies and Ko drop a shot. Now it's Boutier leading, but now Boutier's in a sticky patch at 6.
Yeoju Kim not high enough there on 8, but this is another player that I've got my eye on.
Well, another player that's won so many times in career, also on the LPGA Tour as well. Made a 2 at 2, an eagle 2. It's a great start as well from Wishini Mishai. Birdied the first 2 holes. And she maybe will feel she should have got one at 7 as well. She would go into surprise name category if she was to put off the win today.
She would, and she's looking to get into the Women's Open next week, part of the 3 spots available. Here is a former champion of the links at the Open, Georgia Hall.
1 bogey, 1 birdie so far, but that's nicely played. Gabby Lopez, one of those who's putting a nice run together in this final round and making a bit of a late move.
Speaking of moves, food away for birdie. That's 3 under par. She goes up to -14.
As we look at Boutier here, I want to stress on Gabby Lopez. I hadn't actually realised she started the round with 2 bogeys, and she's 6 under for the day through 12. That was a 5th birdie in a row that she's just made, the Mexican. Anyway, back to Boutier.
There's a ridge in between her and the hole at halfway. That is the high point right there. What she's doing is pacing it out. Doesn't believe that she can hold the green or short of the flag if she does land it up there. So he's opting for the putter, playing it along the ground. Going to be reasonably slow, this one. And pace should stop it kicking too far right at the start. It will favour that. And she picked the right club.
Just hasn't been holding her fair share on the greens, Georgia Hall, and there's another opportunity. It really does get to you. 6 under par the first day, and 70 day 2, 71 only yesterday. Alison Lee certainly had her fair share of birdies this week, and there's another.
On form tee to green at the moment, Alison Lee, but like many, it feels like she's got to hit it with inside 5 feet to make a birdie.
Well, Gabby Lopez has shown what can be done around this part of the course. Lydia Ko here for a birdie. In the last 7 holes, Gabby Lopez has played those holes in 7 under par. Things can change very quickly. This for Lydia Ko to try and get back within 1 of the lead.
This will take some turn to the left around the hole. See there, just a bobble, a couple of bobbles around midway, took all the pace out of it, curled off at the end.
Admitted she struggled in the greens when we spoke to her after a round yesterday. Just hoping for some good feelings again, aren't you, when you come back out? She is the #1 putter on the LPGA Tour, not just this season, but in many of the seasons past as well.
She was on the putting green a good hour after she finished yesterday, trying to find something. Just get the pace of them, I would say.
Now, when you're ranked 137th in the world, you're playing with 2 players in the top 25. You can understand some nerves for LeBlanc being out in this final group for the final round, looking for her first birdie of the day.
This one also will go from right to left.
Okay, in the game. So LeBlanc to 14 under par.
So much can be said for making that first birdie. Just a little bit more energy comes to the game. Might start talking more to your playing partners and your caddy, feeling more comfortable out there. Inside left for Boutier.
The one to catch right now, the French player. Nice to see some good crowds out and about. Last couple of years we haven't been able to have the full quota.
Palm through the back on 7. Beautiful touch. And that's something to just keep in mind. That 7th green is firm. There'll be a few players that misjudge that approaching.
Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open at Dundonald Links. They played this event in 2015, 2016 and 2017. First time back since. Can Foudouet set herself up for another birdie opportunity? The answer is yes, she can.
What balance she has to her swing. It's only small, but doesn't throw herself at it, doesn't chase yardage. Great balance.
Well, she is definitely closing in on the leaders. week.
Missed this left earlier in the week. Dog leg right to left. Let's see what Boutier can do here. It's not a problem. That wind down from right to left off the tee box. Georgia Hall on the 11th. Playing 113 yards.
Let's see if she can hold that one. Not going to be an easy putt from there, that's for sure. Back to the 7th tee.
Coe with driver.
Yeah, she went left off the tee with driver at the 5th. That led to the bogey she made there.
Oh, yeah, otherwise no, keep it.
Looks happy enough with that one. It's a chilly afternoon. No complaints there. A little bit of sunshine out, just off the back of a drop shot at the last. Harm to avoid another bogey. Well done. Still very much in it.
There's Cheyenne Knight. Second into the 8th hole. Flag cut way right here. What a beautiful fade, she finds it. She's got that to get to -14.
Okay, so our lift home is arriving at the course now, nice and early. Packed lunch, wonder what's inside there. Hopefully something good. This is not the simplest of birdie putts, but it's another good look for Georgia Hall. Yeah, she's got one. That takes her to 10 under par.
Mishai from the semi-rough. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, just a wedge. Trying to draw one back into a left to right wind. This 8th tee has been moved forward, so players with a lot of loft in their hand this afternoon.
Right on the Firth of Clyde on the North Ayrshire coast. Just people might be tuning in for the first time this week, Sophie, and conditions-wise, it is pretty soft. So even if there's a bit of breeze around like we're seeing today, it makes it scoreable.
Yes, it does. You can see how green it is for those of you that watched St Andrews a couple of weeks ago. That's on the east coast. It's very brown. We've had a lot of weather come through this week here. It's been warm. And look how green it is. So you won't see some of the traditional link shots that you would expect.
Or maybe you'll see next week at the Women's Open at Muirfield.
No, exactly. But it's still that links turf. And you've still got to flight the ball in this wind. Very positive left to right birdie putt there.
So Mishai with the 3rd birdie of the day moves into a share of 2nd place. A player that's never finished better than 5th on the LPGA Tour before. She has won multiple times in Asia. Yeah, beautiful views over to the Isle of Arran and Cheyenne Knight.
I think what the players will have got used to this week is the greens on links courses are slower, because if it does get too windy, then the ball will oscillate and can roll off the green. So they'll be used to hitting their putts harder than when they play on the LPGA Tour in America. That's what this week's going to be really useful for.
1 bogey, 1 eagle so far for Cheyenne Knight. Player had 8 birdies in a 67 yesterday. Said she gave herself a lot of looks from inside 12 feet. Well, here's another example of that. player who contended last week at Evian, finished top 20 in the end, feels her game is right where she wants it to be.
Needs to land this one short of the flag into 8.
Yeah, great shot.
And does so.
Well, she had 5 birdies on the front 9 yesterday, didn't she, Celine Boutier? And she's heading for something similar today, it seems. Lydia Ko can't afford to be sleepy.
Just a wedge, a gap wedge at that for Ko. Working hard on her setup and her shoulder alignment. You can see the fidgeting around, trying to get comfortable. And that's the issue. It's firm, that green, a lot firmer than most. Downwind as well. Will not be the first player to have done that today.
So not going according to plan right now for the New Zealand player.
I think she pitched that where she wanted to. If anyone would have been out earlier in the day, had a walk around the course often the caddies do, you'd have seen how firm that green is on 8.
LeBlanc, the big hitter in this group, so quite often she'll be playing last into the green.
Perrin Boutier just landed in the upslope. Took the sting out of it. Ko, that 5 yards further pitch, flies the green.
Another birdie for Hyo-Joo Kim. Well, they're all hovering, aren't they? Just a couple of shots away from the leader. Kim gets to 14 under par now, 3 back of Celine Boutier.
Not the greatest angle for Unhee-ji. Wind down from the left-hand side. It's a player that likes to hit a draw. But no problem there. Below the hole, uphill, left to right birdie try. Huge difference with this tee box going forward. Normally be a 7-iron, 6-iron. That was just a 9-iron for her.
Yeah, a lot of birdies today at 8. Well, what a run this is from Ayaka Fudue. 4 birdies in a row, now within 1 shot of the lead. One of those looking for an LPGA Tour breakthrough. She's a rookie this season on tour, Fudue. Now we know she can come up with something special. Saw that yesterday at 15. Change of club.
See, just a slight rise to the green. It will gradually move from left to right. All she's doing there is trying to pick the landing spot.
Now, Derek, her caddy yesterday, said, you're going to hold this one. And she was actually a bit upset that he said it at 15. Thought, you know, I just want to knock it in close because I've been missing so many putts from 6 to 10 feet. And then she hold it. She said, maybe you should say that again. I wonder if he said it to her just now.
She needs to help him out here. Miss club for the second. Just taking the 54 degree, trying to get some release on that. Yeah, quite often the caddy will stay quiet when you've not done your job as such. She was mystified by that second shot. She landed it at the flag, and normally it sticks, doesn't it?
And she's struggling for par again. A little mini crisis here for Lydia Ko, and she knows her biggest challenger, the tournament leader, has a good birdie look to come. First LeBlanc for her birdie. Might be an unfamiliar name to many. Maud Amy LeBlanc. She has been around a long time, 33 years of age. Looking at her putting stats this week and making putts of 10 feet or more. Certainly above average with her round yesterday. In and around that range right now.
If anything, she can be a bit shy with the putts. They can come up short. Won't need to worry about that here. This is downwind and downhill.
Yeah, this is the part of the game that has made the difference to her the last 2 seasons. She said her putting has improved multifold.
And that was a good putt. It was right to left, and then it just moved slightly the other way. Nothing wrong with that.
Level par for the day, though. And as is Lydia Ko, by the way, but Boutier has a putt to come which would take her 3 under for this final round.
Boutier has putted very well this week. She had 14 less putts than Lydia Ko in the opening 2 rounds. Has been striking these putts with a little bit more than most. They've been hitting the back of the hole rather than just reaching them. Let's see how this wanders down as it runs out of pace. It's easy for it to wiggle a way that you're not so sure of, so I try to keep the pace on this one.
Well, it's a really good advantage. She has opened up at the top of the leaderboard. 2-shot lead for Boutier, keeping the chasing pack at bay. 3 shots now ahead of her co-leader overnight, Lydia Ko. It's at the 10th hole, hedging Choi. Player won Q Series at the end of last year. In qualifying school for the LPGA Tour. I know it's only the front 9, but almost critical, this one, for Lydia Ko.
I believe so. Left to right. Feet are aiming way left.
Well, much needed. Stays within touching distance. So many wins as a teenager. They've dried up since she's hit her 20s.
This on the 8th green, back up the slope from left to right. Struck with authority. She gets it to -14, so 4 back from Celine Boutier.
Yeah, playing with Leonie Harm, who's at 14 under as well. Lilia Vu, we've not yet seen today. 1 bogey, 1 birdie from the American rookie, who's still there or thereabouts at 13 under par. Kind of been blessed with the weather. Remember Thursday afternoon we had that torrential downpour, but apart from that, during tournament play it's been fairly dry, lots of sunshine.
Well, the tee box now is on the left as we see this hole, so it makes a dogleg left to right become straight, which brings the bunker on the left into play at 244 for the players. 224, sorry, for the players. Wind from left to right, and the flag is on the right-hand side, but a hole which has been made so much more simpler because of that tee box being moved forward and less of an angle. Playing at 349 today.
was early in the week. It was playing tough today. Seeing lots of birdies here with the new tee, as you suggest, Sophie. It's almost like a different hole.
And the bunkers on the right that were in play for Boutier when she made double bogey, they're not in play today, so be thankful of that.
Should be a drive and a flick for LeBlanc. Once she finds the fairway.
Be all right.
It will be.
That's the bunker that I was talking about. Luckily she carried that, no issue. That's the one on the left-hand side.
Well, the wind is certainly a factor, as it should really be on a links layout.
This is not the easiest wind when it's at your back from left to right. And if you are losing shots right, which Ko can sometimes do off the tee, you need to stay in this shot. Send it down the left-hand side. Yeah, she did that there. Really turned that left hip out the way of the ball. Right down the centre.
Well, a week ago, Céline Boutier was kind of kicking her heels, frustrated at missing the cut at the major championship on home soil in France. Six. Yeah, went over the back of the green, chipped down to there, and that's going to be an annoying way to end the front nine for Cheyenne Knight. Here is Foodaway again, coming from the middle of the fairway.
Flag 21 on, 8 from the right, down 10.
Another one fired right at the flag. Well, she's feeling it right now.
Pin high on 9 for Mishai. This will turn significantly from right to left.
Yeah, one would assume from here that her place is secure at the AIG Women's Open next week. She's a long way ahead of everybody else. 3 spots up for grabs. Player that finished tied 25th at Carnoustie last year, so something for her to look forward to. Back we go with the final 3 ball at 8.
Eight iron for Boutier. Looking to start this 6 yards left of the flag. Wind from the left. Anything drifting to the right can catch the slope. Kick down.
putt, but we've seen a lot of players get a lot closer than that at this hole this afternoon. Just on the downslope a little bit here for LeBlanc.
120. I always think it's harder when you're so tall to get down to the bottom of the ball. That was thin.
Oh, that was a nice break.
That was lucky. You have to keep in posture. It's Food Away, for instance, would have found that a lot easier than LeBlanc.
There's almost a foot between them.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was heading towards the gorse bushes. Not the friendly bounce. Ko in prime position here. You know how much she loves this distance. Not sure she's too enamoured with that one though.
Turn that face over through impact. It's good for most people and the fans, but Lydia Ko would have liked it twice as close as that.
Well, there's a bonus. Well, the last time we were at Dundonald Links, it was a Korean winner. A couple of Koreans up there again, as you'd expect. Here's another of them, Eun-hee-ji.
Just smoothed that one in there. We've seen so many players take the flag on and kick through the back. She wasn't making that mistake. Flag today, 16 on, 11 from the left on the 9th. Let's see if Harm can stick one close.
Well, that'll do her no harm. Finished top 10 at the AIG Women's Open last year at Carnoustie when she was really struggling with her game. And here comes Food Away. Birdied the last 4 holes. Maybe just catch a glimpse of the hole there, so left to right slider. Well, no stopping her right now. She is closing in. The 22-year-old Japanese rookie within 1 of Boutier.
Mikey Scott on the bag. A local guy who will be delighted at being up top at the Scottish Open. Great angle from behind. You could hear the strike. You could see the centre hit on that putt.
Well, she's had a couple of top 10s this season, LeBlanc, but they were both in her first 3 starts of the year. She hasn't quite been able to back it up since, but we're seeing her contend here this week in Scotland. But you've seen what Gabby Lopez has done. You've seen what Ayaka Foodaway's done. There are birdies to be got at here.
106 into the 9th for Voot.
Yeah, just 1 birdie for her yesterday, just 1 birdie for her so far today, Lilia Vu.
Love the way Boutier stares at the hole all the way through her practice stroke. She's not interested in what the club's doing. She's visualising the line of the putt. She knew she hadn't hit that one. She almost, the longer follow through was the wishing that it would just have been hit harder.
still in front. Probably won't be aware that Foodaway's moved within one.
Yeah, and you're right, that's something you just need to be careful of in that final group. You might be fully aware of Lydia Ko. Yeah, I can see what she's doing. And you can get a bit of a shock if you look up and think, wow, there's more people behind me than just Lydia Ko.
Well, it's hard to believe I'm saying this really, but just need something to give her a bit of confidence on the greens here, Lydia Ko, over what's happened yesterday and so far today. It's another good roll. And she did mention yesterday, it wasn't so much the putting per se, it was the fact that her irons weren't good enough and she wasn't getting it in tight enough to give herself the birdie look she really wanted. And there was another prime example, really.
You're absolutely right, Richard. Left to right, slider for harm. Yes. Coaxes it in.
Well, so many potential good stories here. This certainly would be one of them at this Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open. Caddy there, Alex, probably tallest caddy out on tour. Giving the high five. Ko tidying up for her par. Still only the front nine. No need to push the panic button just yet, but here is the player making the biggest final day move amongst the leaders. And my goodness me, what a performance she is putting on. Ayaka Foodaway about to make it 6 in a row. Much needed birdie for Lilia Vu.
Foodaway is playing computer game golf. The caddy's saying, just aim right of that flag on 11. 5 yards right. Yeah, I will do that. Next thing you know, kicks it left. She's doing exactly what she wants. She's seeing the shot and she's hitting the shot. And boy, she's had a run of threes. She's going to throw in another 2. So she's going to birdie 2 of the par 3s. Shows how good her iron play is today.
So anywhere inside of that?
This is a really good flag. She could like to draw one in also. Oh no, it's buffeted up. That needs to sit. Be very thankful that it is soft out there. That should have been down in between the bunkers and an awful pitch shot left. But it wasn't. She's safe.
So Celine Boutier started the day in a share of the lead. She's 3 under par for the round. If she has a look at the leaderboard, she might have a shock in a moment to find that she's tied alongside Foodaway, assuming Foodaway pops it in for her 2.
Driver down the 9th.
Look at that baby run.
If you were in Boutier's position, though, you have done everything right. You're 3 under for the first 8. You can only control what you're doing. It's not like you're 2 over par.
Yeah, and interesting to see the way she hits that low shot. That's why it got all the run that it did. LeBlanc just kind of booms it out there. Big hitters on the LPGA Tour.
Well, this week her average is 25 yards longer than Boutier in the driving standings. 6'1", wide arc. This wind is into out of the left hand side, so Ko teeing one down, trying to lower the launch angle to get the run on the fairway, catch the downslope.
Friday, 1 under par today.
And there was a leaderboard at the back of the 9th green, a huge one. Boutier will know where she stands. Tied for the lead, heading into this back 9. Opt in for the fairway wood. Wind down from the right, this dogleg right to left. Sometimes making the turn, you can switch gears, you can forget about that front 9. Co really needs to go again and try and put some pressure on her playing partner. Fairway wood for her also. It's a lot easier to move this one from right to left with loft in your hand.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll end up in the same spot the 3 did yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. It's longer than we've seen, but right to left, birdie try for Foodaway.
Okay, so the run stops at 6. Just a par at 12. Best for Foodaway.
Yeah, go on.
5 wood here for LeBlanc, looking to catch the downslope.
That's okay. That's right. You want something to eat?
We're not far from Prestwick Airport here on the west coast of Scotland. Mishai. Oh, well. Continues to lurk, doesn't he? Wishing Mishai. Up to 3rd spot on her own now. Known as Jan. Place at the Women's Open now, that seems guaranteed. Now, a potential win is on the cards. Yeah, best finish came last year at the Pure Silk Championship when she finished 5th. Play came through the Tongchai Jaidi Academy. Father Wanchai, a former senior tournament director on the Asian Tour. This is how they look in this final 3-ball. Lydia Ko, level par for the round. Made Maud Amy LeBlanc 1 under par for today. So you compare that to some of the scores we're seeing elsewhere, and they've yet to really get going.
That's what happens when you're in the final group. The pressure, situational scoring going on. This is a left edge.
Well, we know, I mean, we're looking at players like Hyoju Kim. She shot a 61 at Evian on her way to winning there in 2014. Ayaka Foodaway, we saw last week open up with a 63 in the foothills of the Alps. Players that are more than capable of going low. Our first time today seeing Shi Lin. Japanese player started the day 9 under par, just dropped a shot at 13.
I'll get one back there on the 14th. Good look at the pin position.
What a consistent year she's had. Not missed a single cut in this 2022 campaign. Shi Lin came close to winning in Thailand, using that playoff against Nana Madsen. How lovely does it look? Looking up from high.
Barely a cloud in the sky today.
There's a little bit left on this for food away.
It's 12th green to cut, many a player out. It's a high point and it's the one closest to the coast. I think it dries out the 12th green.
Yeah, things warming up nicely. Had a lot of cloud cover this morning. Those clouds are starting to dissipate now. A little bit more blue sky coming by the minute. And the chase really is on to win this Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open. Well, number 4, Lydia Ko, just checking the wind here. Is she checking out the scores or doing a selfie? I'm not too sure.
Is away first. It's a good angle. What she faces here. Flag's cut in a bowl. It's where it was on the second day as well. There's huge slopes down the right hand side. If you do flare this up into the wind and come up short right, it leaves yourself a really difficult putt. So long is good here and left ideal. Control from the semi-rough there. Took that shot on.
Well, the marker's been set down. No time for slouching now for Lydia Ko. It's got to start happening.
115 to the front of this green. Flag on 21. That sounded a very good strike. Unlucky, caught that downslope. Anything right of the flag, that's what happens. Still a very good birdie effort remains for the Kiwi.
Oh, that's beautifully done from LeBlanc. She's not done yet. Just birdied 9. Every chance she could birdie 10. Player that 3 years ago had decided to call it a day, announced her retirement.
It's got to give yourself some confidence if you're hitting it closer than Lydia Ko with those scoring clubs, because we all know how good Ko is inside 130 yards.
Well, we're talking about players knocking in tight. We've seen that just now from LeBlanc and Boutier. Michai's been doing that as well with great regularity this weekend. As soon as I say that, swing goes a little awry and she has found the bunker. And you know that's not a good bunker because it's got stairs to get into it.
And it's the first sign of the interwind holes that you see, the 12th. I was looking there thinking, oh, further back than I would expect. This is quick. On the 11th, Boo just tapping one down there. But that 12th hole, I think, is a hole that most players would have thought at the beginning of the week, oh, this could be an interesting hole, straight back into the wind. It's not been that. We've got it today, and the rough on the right-hand side is very much in play. Naomi Harm back down the slope for her part. This concentration is needed here. The wind is going to push this ball down the hill also. Oh, just wanders in on that left edge.
Now she wears her emotion on her sleeve. Very intelligent young lady who's...
What an ugly part.
Ugly par.
It's a par nonetheless, Leonie. They all count.
Sometimes you can be too clever for golf. Off the upslope, never easy for Knight. Oh, well done. Back into the wind. The ball wants to launch. You're trying to keep it down.
Another one of those length putts for Lydia Ko. Just can't get it within that sort of 5-6 feet region where we've seen so many others. She has got one. Okay. Time's on her side. The putter may be warming up.
You see from her expression, it's not easy out there today for her. She's got that, I'm not quite at my best.
Well, she would assume that Boutier is going to make her birdie, and she couldn't really afford to lose more ground. Boutier's got a putt to get to 19 under. That birdie from Ko takes her to 16 under par. And this for LeBlanc to do the same.
Back down the slope. Oh, never fancied that one.
Yeah, frustrated after finishing 30th on the Epsom Tour in 2019, decided to call it a day, got out of there and got a PGA qualifications, but has never done any coaching because she's come back better than ever.
Hataoko. Oh, dances one round the flag on 12. Well, it's an easy leave. It's back up the slope. It's to take the lead.
Yeah, back out in front on her own again, Celine Boutier, thanks to that birdie at 10. 19 under par now for her. The record 72-hole score at the Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open over the years is 20 under par. That was from Mi Jing He in 2019. That was at the Renaissance. Well, that's brilliantly done. Mishai, who, by the way, I've been trying to work out who is going to get those spots at the Women's Open. Mishai looks nailed on to get one, as does her compatriot Shanati Wanasayan, but it's all up for grabs for the third spot. Carmen Alonso has just finished at 4 under par, and the veteran Spaniard, I make it at the moment, is in position to get that third spot, but there are others that could yet knock her out.
It's for 3 in a row for Nasser inside left. Well, there's some birdies on these first 3 or 4 holes of the back 9. That's where our leaders are right now, making the most of it, they hope.
So another Japanese player moves into contention. Winner of the LA Open early this year, Nasa Hataoka, won by a fair margin as well. Lovely little par 3 this.
Isn't it just? It's only 113 yards. The bunkers guarding this flag. Playing back into the wind from the right-hand side.
No, it's not blocking us over here. No, you're good right now. Just look it down a bit.
Says this is where she comes into her own, as she can knock down the flight of the lofted clubs where others can't. Not using a tee. Pitching wedge for Boutier. You don't want to go left. Oh, no, no, no.
Big mistake from the leader.
So keen to keep that one low, close that face.
Well, we've seen Mishai come out of the bunker nicely. Boutier, we're hoping for something similar. That's a really good up and down from the tight. Keeps her very much in amongst it.
Yeoju Kim cutting one in here. That's what you need to do for that 13th pin. It's cut back right. It's the only way to get it close.
And it's hard to take stock at the moment. There's so many birdie opportunities out there. We're seeing so many players make forward progress. Boutier's in a slight pickle here at 11.
Can Ko take advantage of that? Just a wedge also. It's a good shot, but that is a tricky putt. We know that.
That should be plenty.
This is 13, where Foodaway made a mistake off the tee, so had to just pop it out to here. So another of the top players in a, I was going to say in a bit of trouble, but take that back. Par looks secure. That was her third shot. Inji Chun, one of the year's major champions, one of the 7 players in the world's top 10 that teed it up this week, making her birdie at 14. Now, Sophie, another bit of short game magic needed from Mishai.
I just don't know how you stop that one, Richard. From below the green all the way on the downslope, it wasn't a bad effort, but the miss was the approach.
Well, delighted to say Alan Grant, the senior golf manager at Visit Scotland, has joined us in the commentary box. Lovely to see the sunshine, lovely to see so many players in contention as well, Alan. It's very busy out on the golf course right now.
It is, you know, what a week we've had. You know, we came in with a great field, and heading into the back nine Sunday, looking like we've got a great leaderboard in front of us for everyone watching, and you know, the plenty of people that are around the golf course today.
Yeah, that's going to find the fairway from Hyo-Joo Kim, who's one of the players on the charge. Hye-Jin Choi just missing that putt. So after starting the back nine with 4 birdies, she's just dropped a shot. Has Foodaway got the power to get there?
Not normally, not one of the longest hitters. And the wind is into from the left. I wouldn't expect her to do anything silly here, just play for that pitch shot in that she's so good at.
Alan, it's a busy time. They're just finishing on the east coast of Scotland at the moment at Fairmont St Andrews, the Hero Open on the DP World Tour. Here we are with a, you know, as I mentioned, big event. So many of the world's top players here on a co-sanctioned LPGA Ladies European Tour event, and the events in Scotland are becoming thick and fast, haven't they?
They are, you know, a pretty historic year for us here in Scotland. You know, when you think back 3 weeks to the men's event at Renaissance, and you know, we look forward next week to the AIG Women's Open at Muirfield. You know, it's a fairly unique year for us, and I think we've had great winners in the last few weeks and great tournaments, and you know, this week is not looking like it's going to let the side down in that respect.
No, and so many good layouts. You know, the Senior Open was at Glen Eagles. We've been at the Renaissance. We've been at St Andrews, which needs no introductions. You've got a course like this, maybe a little less known, but you can see here it can pose its issues. Lydia Ko, ball below her feet, not the prettiest of lies.
I don't know if she can get there. That is there's 3 bunkers down the right hand side, and she's found that second one.
Yeah, I mean, has there ever been a spell like this? I mean, I go back to the men's Scottish Open, you know, what was that, 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And there's still another week of Scottish golf to come.
Yeah, no, there is no. We haven't had a spell like this before, and you know, it really does showcase the golf courses in Scotland, as you said, right across the country in terms of the quality that we have here.
Oh, another big mistake from Celine Boutte. That
You can see it. You can see it impact Richard. The club face is way left, and that is 1 on 11 and 1 on 12.
So Ko in trouble, Boutier in trouble. You've got players like Foodaway and Hyo-Joo Kim on the charge. LeBlanc, very different shot she's got in.
Just the Cattell follow through with the gap wedge.
Oh, look at that one go as well.
We're finally seeing it happening, aren't we? Players not judging the wind. That one flew straight through that wind.
Yeah, and it seems like it's as breezy as it has been all week. Just when it's coming down to the most important time.
And that's a bogey as well for Mishai on the 13th.
Seems like the Scottish government have been in for the long haul. You know, we go back to, I mentioned Glen Eagles just now, where they had the men's Senior Open, and we were there only 3 years ago for the Solheim Cup. But events like this have shown that, you know, there is a legacy there, and that golf in Scotland and at professional level as well as at the amateur level is flourishing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all part of a long-term plan, and you know, we've supported this event for 15 years. You know, when we think back to the first event at the Carrick, and where we stand with this event now, and you know, we look forward to continuing to grow this off the back of a Solheim Cup in 2019, as you say, and continuing that growth for women's sport and professional women's golf in Scotland as well.
Now, while I've been on air, I got an email confirming where the Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open is going to be next year. I didn't know whether I should say it or not, but seeing as you're here, Alan, you can maybe tell us if that's allowed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we're delighted to be coming back here next year. You know, I think 2017 was the last time we were here, and the changes that Darwin Escapes have made to Dundonald are magnificent changes, really. And I think you listen to the players and the media and people like that this week. They've really enjoyed the experience here at Dundonald, both on the golf course but also off the golf course, in terms of the facilities here at the clubhouse now and the lodges that they have on site, and how much easier that's made it for the players. And I think particularly it's it's trying to make life easier for the players so that they can concentrate on what they're here to do.
What's Lydia Ko going to do?
30-yard bunker shot. How do you hit it hard enough?
Well, these are very significant moments, aren't they? We've seen Hye-Jin Choi make a bogey, seen Mishai make a bogey. We've just seen Celine Boutier drop a shot while Alan was talking as well. We had Ayaka Fudue set herself up for a birdie opportunity. You feel like these are potentially significant moments, Sophie?
They are, especially with the two players like playing together with Boutier and Ko. We talked about them maybe getting wrapped up in each other, and Fudue just blindsiding them, especially as she is 2 holes in front. This is incredibly difficult. Going for the parachute shot. It's downhill and downwind when she lands on the green.
And it's just showing you the last 2 holes, the places she's left herself, just giving herself so much to do to walk away with par, where about half an hour ago everyone was making birdie here.
That is a good shot. It was a yard away from perfection.
Well, LeBlanc's going to have something similar to come here. Back to one of the players who really has got their foot on the gas.
98 yards. Kim just skipped one in there close. These two players, they're on a run, aren't they? Fudue and Kim.
Par 3 15th.
Looked like Alison Lee. And,
Indeed it was.
Yeah, she, only because she's been doing that all week, just knocking the sticks out on those par 3s. Oh, there you go. It shows how good a shot Boutier's was.
Well, she needs just to take her time here. It's not that much simpler now, second time of asking.
And on the upslope will make it, will make it slightly easier.
Just looking at those pictures there, Alan, it's great to have all the fans back as well.
Yeah, no, it is. It's as you say, it's been a busy summer, but it's the first event we've had across here in the west coast of Scotland, and it's great to see. This has been one of our better attended venues over the years, and it's great to see the people back out on the fairways enjoying the typical Scottish sunshine. And
umbrella up, but not from the rain.
No, a bit of shade there. Stay nice and cool.
So Lydia Ko and Celine Boutier both with par putts to come. Bogey putt here for LeBlanc. Remember, at the par 5 14th, Fudue will have a birdie putt to come.
This hole just 338 yards, with being back into the wind brings all the trouble in the landing area. Ko with a right to left par save.
Well, a second bogey of the round, only 2 birdies today, so as she was overnight, 15 under, and bear in mind she was 14 under par at the halfway stage, and looked unstoppable, Lydia Ko, after the bogey 365s, and suddenly she's back at 15 under par. Another player on 15 under par is Leonie Harm.
Finds that back tier on the 13th green.
So, another one of those. Couldn't make the par at 11. She's either been leading or sharing the lead since we've joined the coverage.
Just needs to stroke this with more conviction. 9, 10 and 11 just lack the pace. Keep this one down the left-hand side. Have it hit the back of the hole. That was better. A lot better strike.
Yeah, that was impressive, wasn't it, Alan? I'm sure you were having a look at the board behind it. Says Scotland, the home of golf, as well, behind it. And what we've seen over the last month, it really feels like it does. I mean, the scenes at St Andrews, as well as a couple of weeks ago, warmed the heart, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's something I'm very proud to be involved in, and it's our national sport here, and something that we've given to the world, and it's great to welcome the world's best players back here on an annual basis to play these courses.
I'm sure you'd love to see Scott challenging for the title maybe in the next few years.
Yeah, I think we've got a really strong group of young professionals coming through at the minute. Obviously Louise turning professional this week, and a few more behind her, but Gemma Driver's had a great week this week. Kylie made the cut as well, so I think they can all push each other on a little bit, and start to challenge for some of these titles.
I'm afraid that might be one blow too many for Maud-Amy LeBlanc. This par 3 is going to prove very expensive. It's a double bogey 5.
Oh, she only had a wedge in her hand for a second shot.
Just like that. 11 years as a professional. Hopes of a first win. All it takes is one misplaced wedge, and suddenly that dream disappears for now. This for a share of the lead for Hyo-Joo Kim. I'd love to ask you to predict a winner, Alan, but that wouldn't be fair. But I mean, we're set for a brilliant finish, that's for sure, and that's exactly what I suppose, from your perspective, you'd want. Seeing images like this, where it just looks stunning here on the North Ayrshire coast.
Yeah, I think the golf course has proven today whoever wins is going to have stood up to a good test today, and over the course of the week, and seeing these coastlines and hills in the distance of Arran and things like that, it's even as a proud Scot, it's great to be looking at that and seeing them promoted around the world. And
it wouldn't be a links course without seeing a railway line down the side of a golf course as well.
Just adds another thought to my swing thoughts when I play around here.
Bunker down the right there for Boutier at 221 yards.
Yeah, it was headed that way. I wouldn't quite see if it had fallen in there or not.
It's right on her landing number. This wind into from left to right down the 13th hole.
There's no doubt about it. It's a little bit of a mini crisis right now for the French player. Another one that looked like it was going down that right-hand side. I'm sure you've been loving every minute of this and looking forward to next week's AIG Women's Open. Just focus on this putt first for food away, because it is for her to get to 19 under par, the outright lead. Not to be. So after 6 birdies in a row, it's 3 pars in a row. I bet in some respect you're looking forward to putting your feet up for the AIG Women's Open, unless you're deciding to put on another event in Scotland after that.
Well, we do have the RNA Boys and Girls Amateur Championship up the coast, but no, I'll be reintroducing myself to my children, I think, after next week, and just reminding them who Dad is. But yeah, it's after the last couple of years that we've all had, it's just brilliant to be back out on a golf course, watching people do what they do, and you're welcoming fans and visitors from around the world to Scotland.
What have the numbers been like?
This week?
Not this week, I'm saying in general, in terms of visitors to Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, there are obviously still some challenges in terms of air travel and access into the country, but certainly if you were in St Andrews that week, all the accents of the Americans and Germans and Dutch and English and things like that were all around the town, and it had that buzz that used to be there. It felt like that was back.
Yeah, it certainly did. Look at this 15th, Sophie.
Tee's been pushed forward today. It's playing 146. It's on that frontier, near on where that flag is right now. Could be some interesting shots. Anyone short left will find that sand.
And it's the 22-year-old from Kobe in Japan, who's going to try and take on this par 3.
Wind back into their faces. It's playing more like 160. So longest club in a bag is a 7-iron. This is a 6 hybrid. 6-iron hybrid, should I say. That's really sensible. And leave yourself a downhill putt, but you're just taking those bunkers that we see in picture totally out of play. Played number 3 in hardest holes on the course this week.
Well, there's the trophy. She's won 7 times. Katrina Matthew joins us now at this Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open. Katrina, about 45 minutes ago, we probably had a dozen potential winners. Suddenly it's very much heading towards Oyaka Fudue, isn't it?
It really is. That's just an amazing round she's having today. I mean, she's been hitting it close, and it's not as if she's even been holding long putts. And Celine obviously was looking good on the front nine, and just that couple of bogeys has really set her back. I think she really needs to try and birdie this hole, par 5.
How hard is it when things just start, it was going so well, and then it's like a flick of a switch? How hard is it to get that back?
I think it's hard, especially, it's a bit breezy out there, and obviously with Oyaka playing so well, and you see someone coming up like that through the field, it's hard to try and get back, and I think she'll have earmarked this probably as a potential birdie hole, so hopefully she can hit this one in quite close.
Well, I think she listened. It's looking like a birdie to get her back to 18 under par, to get her back to level par for this back 9.
I think that could really just spur her on, just give her that little bit of confidence for the last few holes.
Georgia Hall's final approach to the 18th. In a solid week. Plenty to build on heading into Muirfield and the Women's British Open.
Yeah, I think Georgia will definitely be looking forward to Muirfield after her success at Lytham to get back to another British Open.
Leader now 17.
We'll play this as a dogleg right to left to the corner of that dogleg, eliminating the 5 bunkers down the left-hand side.
Katrina, she's making this golf course look easy.
She certainly is today. As I was just saying, it's not long putts she's been holding either. She's just been hitting it in close. Obviously hitting the fairways, hitting it in close and holding the putts, making golf look very easy.
Which is something Lydia Ko has done so many times over the years, but it's been a weekend where she just really hasn't had any momentum.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I really thought Lydia would, play well today. I thought she played, pretty steady yesterday. Obviously didn't hit it overly close, but I'm surprised she's not come out today, with all guns firing. And
well, it's not too late for her, but you feel like something special is going to have to happen.
Player that gets so much check from such short range.
But at the moment she's 4 back.
I think if she can knock that one in, and then obviously 18 today's reachable potentially. Tough pin though to try and eagle with it being on the back right, but she'll be out there, thinking she's still in there with a chance and trying to make some more birdies.
Well, and every time Georgia Hall tees it up at the AIG Women's Open, she seems to contend. Silver medal, the main trophy itself. Just might need to find a warmer putter for next week from what we've seen. She's won the Women's Open. Of course, Katrina, you've done that as well. She kind of heads to an event like that, doesn't she, with greater belief than maybe she does in some of the other events around the world?
I think definitely. Obviously she won at Lytham. I think now when you go back to that, she's got as being one of the top Brits, she's got that pressure off of having already won it. So perhaps not going there with putting quite so much pressure on herself and knowing you've done it before. You can do it.
Oh, might escape with a par 5 here, having zigzagged their way down 14.
Yeah, a hole though that she has birdied every other day, and I think that tells the story of where she is at right now.
I think it's just tough when you've not been up there in contention much to suddenly your first round back in contention.
Yeah, playing in the final group, 2 players it ranked inside the top 25 in the world.
I mean, even though you can say no one was maybe expecting her to win, it's still you're putting the pressure on yourself, and it's just difficult. I think you need to be there, you know, a few times, a few weeks.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that from Foodaway today. It's not like she's come out of nowhere. She's been in the final of the match play. She was opened up with a 63 last week in Evian.
It's even that routine, isn't it, of playing later and maybe not getting as much sleep as you'd normally expect, just energy levels. And obviously Lydia Ko is well used to being in this position, but boy, does she need this one now.
Yeah, I said the last screen, I think, now or never. Well, she did make that one, but
I think she definitely needs this one.
yeah, it's as short as birdie putters we've seen for her for a long time today.
Just needs to keep this one down the right-hand side. It's going to move left.
No, and that has been the story this weekend at Dundonald Links for Lydia Ko. And time is now running out as far as another win is concerned for her.
On to the 17th. .65, just looking to chase one. And with it being downwind, it really did do that. You can see when the wind does blow, the greens can firm up.
But all the focus is on Ayaka Foodaway here. She's interested. And it's another beautiful shot. Just needs to settle down.
Well, the two Japanese players have been exceptional this afternoon. Here's the 16th hole. Hata Oko. Nearly. Just needs to hold on there. The backstop didn't quite gather it.
Celine Boutier may be the biggest danger now to Ayaka Foodaway. Back amongst the birdies for the French player. Saw that she had a Solheim Cup yardage book there, Katrina.
It's always nice to see. I think the players like you see a lot of them using them actually.
Nice little memento,
Yeah.
isn't it, from a couple of wins that she's had in your teams.
Bring back some good memories for her, hopefully.
Just a par though for Lydia Ko.
I noticed she didn't use her line there when she was putting on that one. I wonder if she's... I think sometimes if you're missing putts, you try different things, don't you? Maybe she's gone off it.
Oh, you try anything, don't you? But yeah, she didn't use it on the birdie putt or the second one there. Georgia Hall has put the line in play. So, as I say, mid-season, if you're not holding putts, it's never you. It's always something else.
And I noticed she's putting with the flag in now. I must say, when it's windy, I find that, I don't know, the flag, you know, blows.
Yeah, it seems off-putting, particularly if it's sunny as well, and you can see the shadow of it flapping too.
Yeah, I think that would put you off.
Well, this is the par 3 15th. Final three ball have reached it. Earlier this week, Sophie went and had a little closer look.
On the 15th hole, I would imagine that the green starts here. So that would take out the two bunkers and the false front. So on my yardage book, I would add another 8 yards from the front of the green, and imagine that the green starts just here. It does play into the wind as well. The prevailing wind will make some players hit long irons into this green. But what is cool is that you can use the contours. You can take it up the right hand side if you do hit that slight push, and it's always going to come back down to you. Links golf, you can play a lot of it on the ground, and you can do just that on this green, but you have to cover the front. That is the most vital bit. Middle of the green here is the perfect leave.
Well, nicely described there, Sophie.
I think this is the flag that piece was really concentrated on.
Yeah, I think standing in that tee, you really see that bunker looming on the front left.
You just feel like that birdie's come in the nick of time for Celine Boutier. Needs a good strike here, though.
Just tweaking that club face left. It's got a few more yards and not the easiest two putt from there.
I'm sure Fudo is having a good look at this putt. Someone was getting very excited about that one.
Well, that would have made things interesting. It would have got within one.
You're right, though. That's just given her a perfect read, hasn't it?
And those sort of things fall into place for you, don't they? There's days where it just all happens in the way
It's
you want.
amazing. Everything just, any little bit of luck seems to go your way.
7 iron for Cope.
Made a great two here yesterday, chipping in.
That was a good safe play. You just have to avoid that bunker, don't you?
Third best player is going to be, at the moment I believe that's going to be Carmen Alonso. We shall see.
Knight there. Slight misread on the 16th. Back to the 17th, our leader.
Well, there just doesn't seem to be any stopping Ayaka Fudaway today. This is exhibition golf.
9 under par, and she has made it look so simple.
Well, she saw the read. It's all very well seeing it, but hitting it's another.
Yeah, that just looked good halfway down, I think. You could just see it was just going a good pace to hold its line and not, you know, kind of miss to the left.
What's it like when you're on this run, but you're around the lead? It's just everything you look at just works.
Yeah, I think you're just not you're playing so well. You're not thinking about anything, really, are you? You just know you're probably going to hit it on. You're going to hit it close. She's got a perfect read there. She's seen the ball been going in the hole. You've just got that little just edge more of confidence, I think, with your putter that really makes a huge difference.
Well, Celine Boutier won't be aware, but she is now 2 back again.
It just looks like this group are really trying, and Foodaway is just, you know, it's easy today. So it's a few holes in front, everything's flowing. Like these will come off the course really tired, and she'll come off thinking, okay,
bring on next week.
I've got a trophy, bring on next week.
Well, yeah, the only thing I would say is that, I mean, the way she's playing, you feel like she's going to make another birdie at 18, but I mean, it is only 2 back right now for Boutier.
Kind of feel if Foodaway can birdie 18, it's going to be a struggle for the others to try and catch her.
Yeah, 21 under would be 21 under would be a very mean target. She had a good putt on this green, did Foodaway.
Oh, this will be a good putt to get it within the dustbin lid of 3 feet, left to right, down the slope, and then it's going to work its way the other way as it gets closer to the hole.
So the leader is on the 18th tee. Pushed the tee up here today, Sophie.
And is deciding to take that bunker, which is 250, just out of play, not an issue for her. Play it like a 3-shotter, I'd assume.
Yeah, 478 yards it's playing today, which is about 40 yards shorter than its average.
Thank you.
Poor 3-pot. Goes back to -15.
I thought Sundays were quieter on the railways. It sounds like it's busier today, doesn't it? Alongside the Ayrshire coast here.
It does. Summer now, everyone's on days out.
Well, she's 5 back now, Lydia Ko, having started the day in a share of the lead. Well, is it too little too late? A little bit of momentum. 1 in a row.
I mean, in my mind, it really looks like it's edge.
Well, 2 different 2s she's had here the last 2 days.
Normal speed.
It's been a good few weeks for Cheyenne Knight. Played well at Evian last week. Played well in the Dow Pairs event a few weeks ago with Elizabeth Sokol as well. And a potential pick-me-up here for LeBlanc. Well done. Takes her into a share of 11th place.
This will be a good 2-pot.
So 3 holes to go, 2 shots adrift. Celine Boutier, though, closest pursuer to the leader, Foodaway.
Wind off the left-hand side here on 18. That's why you're seeing so many balls flirt with that rough.
If you can get a good tee shot away there, that wind will help with the second shot, with it being back right. But I've watched a few people playing 18 and no one was getting it very close.
This is the 16th hole. This is where Boutier needs to try and make a birdie. Second hardest hole on the golf course. Bunker is 260 off the tee. Wind is right to left here. The pin on that front portion has proved very hard to read and even find that part of the green. You're coming in with a longer club, a flatter ball flight. You almost need to land it short and chase it up there. You're absolutely right about the 18th, Katrina. I was thinking we might see an eagle there. We've not.
Yeah, I watched a few groups come finishing there and didn't see anyone hit the green in two, actually. A few in that back left bunker, but...
Well, it's probably the nicest weather we've had all week. The blue skies dominating now. We've seen one of the round of the seasons as well so far from Ayaka Fudaway. Here she is at 18. As we've been mentioning, if she could just find one more birdie, 21 under, that is going to be so hard to match.
Just trying to find the perfect pitching number here, laying up.
Well, the way she's been wedging it today, she'll fancy her chances from there. Katrina, you know Celine pretty well. You picked her twice in the Solheim Cup, and they turned out to be two very good picks for you. I mean, what is it about her that she'll need here over these closing stages?
She's just a really gritty player. I mean, she certainly won't be giving up. I mean, she'll be trying her hardest to give herself, and you've just got to try and give yourself 3 birdie chances. I think when you're in this position, you've just got to hit the fairway and try and get it in close, and you've just got to try and give yourself a chance. This is a tough hole, though. Obviously, the key, she's missed the bunker, but running into that rough, it's going to be tricky to get close to the pin with where it is.
It's only 10 on the green. Might need to land that short of the green and hope for a bounce.
That birdie taking Lydia Ko to 16 under. Even 3 more birdies to finish.
On the left or the right? I would say the left for that pin.
I think Lydia will be disappointed not to have more of a chance here in the last few holes.
Right.
Yeah, even if she was to birdie these last 3 holes, you would think that wouldn't be enough either.
Only 2 under par for the weekend so far. You can probably see, actually, by the way that club just hit the ground. So she wants to play this left-hand side, as Caddy Derek has said, left of the hump in the middle. Fairway wood. Well, it's not down the left, so we'll see what the angle's like from the right-hand side.
Anybody's been in the...
Well, she's avoided the burn here somehow, Alison Lee. This is her 3rd shot at 18, so someone who's got up there. That's delightfully played from the American.
Like she's going to tap this one in for around a 66. 6 under par today. Minus 16 total.
Yeah, what a good couple of years she's having after being in the doldrums, Alison Lee.
That's what happens when you pick Katrina in the teams. The Aramco team series, it all changed after that.
Just dropped the shot at 16, did Mishai. So she's at 14 under now.
There's just no one really putting much pressure, is there, on Fudue?
Not yet, no. It's a two-shot lead she has here, and she has knocked so many of these within tap-in distance. Maybe time for one more. It's been relentless.
Take a bow. That rhythm through the ball, the balance that she has, the quietness of the club face, and I'll say it once again, pin high, every single time.
I think that's always a sign of someone who's, you know, really striking the ball well, when you can get that distance control. The club, you know, the ball's coming out the middle of the club every time.
Well, she's won 7 times in Japan, 3 of them last year. It's looking like her time is coming here in Scotland.
Well, she needs to hold this one. Oh, went for the high left to right and held on to it.
It's not that bad, but I suppose everything looks ordinary when you're playing with the Ayaka Fudue today.
And she's going to give Fudue a perfect line again.
Again, indeed.
Fudue's birdied 3 of the 4 par 3s, which has just highlighted what Katrina's said, how good she's hitting her approach shots. She knows her distances.
Handa, who's a 5-time winner on the LPGA Tour.
Oh, this is good. Took the sting out of it on the bounce. Looking to get that drop shot back on the 17th.
Yeah, Handa, who did tee it up and home saw at the Olympics last year. That's something that Fudue was trying so hard to do and just missed out.
I think that's what makes this hole pretty tough, is you've got to lay up short of that bunker and then leaves you a long shot in. Because I always feel if you're laying up, you want to make sure you lay up. There's nothing worse than laying up and then trickling into the trouble.
Ko's got 173 here, 6 iron.
That was a really good shot. It just stays. It's tricky, that green kind of falls away, doesn't it, on the right? You've got to miss it.
Well, she was a name that kind of really emerged on the world stage last year at Evian, was in contention, finished 4th there. It was unbelievably her 21st event in a row when she played that. So desperate was she to play in those Olympics that were coming up in a few weeks after that. I think it's fair to say she's a little fresher this time this year.
I would hope so.
Well, I think we're seeing that in her golf, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, 21 in a row, I can't imagine that. I think I'd be in my knees.
Yeah, well, didn't stop her contending last year in Evian. Boutier's got to find birdies. Well, she's given herself a look. But it looks as if the target could be 21 under par.
when you look back on it, you think if someone shoots that, well, there's not much you could do.
That's a new trophy this year. She must be feeling so good, and I mean, you just knew this was going in.
Just right in the middle. There was no, I think her pace was so good, wasn't it? All her putts just looked, they were just going in the middle at good speed. They weren't trickling in the edges.
I mean, when you have 10 birdies in the day, there's going to be a few. You think of the one that she had at 15. It was quite a long putt she had at 17 as well. But Sophie, there were so many inside 6 feet.
She was knocking the flags out, and there was some wind up there, so there was at least a club wind or a side wind. 13, she was in trouble. She knocked it out, she knocked it close, and she made a significant par. That just, I think, was a real critical moment.
Yeah, must be feeling a little deflated now in this final group. The expectations so high at the start of the day. We were talking in the build-up, me and Sophie, you know, will there be a surprise? Everyone's looking at Ko and Boutier sharing the day, 2 players in the top 25 in the world. Surely it's going to be one of those to emerge, and it doesn't always work out like that.
It doesn't, does it? I mean, I must say I thought it was going to be a kind of shootout between Celine and Lydia, but that's why we watch golf, isn't it? Because you never know what's going to happen next.
I just think it is unbelievable to shoot 10 under par in the final round to win.
Especially to keep it going, I think, in the back nine when you know you've got yourself into contention.
Yeah, the chase is fun, isn't it?
The chase, and then you've got there, and then sometimes people stutter, but to keep that going.
Yeah, she birdied 5 in a row from the 6th, and that's what propelled her in and amongst the leaders. Boutier then stumbled, and she just carried on.
Playing for position here. 240 run out on that drive.
And it's still been an excellent week for Boutier. She can find a birdie late on here, either here or 18. She will claim 2nd spot on her road, which is of some significance, at least monetary-wise as well. There's $60,000 between 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's got to just try and now kind of really focus on, you know, trying to get into that 2nd place. I think obviously she'll be very disappointed today, but I think when you look back, you know, if she can get in then with another birdie and finish into 2nd, she'll be relatively pleased.
Disappointment for Leonie Harm as she drops a shot at 17, laying up Cheyenne Knight at 18.
I would think so.
It's amazing how many are laying up in 18, actually, with it playing that bit shorter. I don't know whether it's just because that if you miss it left, you've really got no chip.
Yeah, we saw Alison Lee obviously had a dig at it, and she just about avoided the burn.
She actually left herself in the perfect place for the chip, but wouldn't recommend that route.
Well, what a gorgeous day it is here on the west coast of Scotland, but no one's going to be lapping up the sunshine and the joy as much as Ayaka Foodaway, who has just taken this Women's Scottish Open by the scruff of the neck with a sensational round this afternoon of 62 that's left the likes of Lydia Ko and Celine Boutier in her track. .65 the first 2 days from Ko. Player that won 14 times on the LPGA Tour as a teenager. 3 since over the last 6 years. Celine Boutier knew a win today would make her the player from France with the most LPGA Tour wins, but that'll have to wait for another day.
I think she needs to take confidence from being up there. You know, she's under par. I mean, if you're in the last group, tied for the lead and under par, you know, you thought you'd have more chance of winning, actually.
And there's another big event coming next week.
Yeah, obviously it's great preparation for the AIG Women's Open. Going with a lot of confidence.
I think Hataoka was...
Yeah, coming down left edge of the scoreboard. Gives you a good target. Coming down just left of it. 130 shot. So just
Greg Johnston, who was for Judy Inkster's caddy for many years, giving the instructions there for Nasa Hataoka. I think was contemplating going for this greening too, but decides to lay up.
The significance of the burn running short and all the way down the right-hand side of 18. With that wind coming out of the left, anything going for it that is lost a bit to the right, you'll find that burn. Just over 170 here for Coe. Wants to land this short of the flag. And let it release back there.
As long as I beat the ones in front of me.
Nice shot. Same place as Furuwe.
Yeah, who hardly missed a putt today, whereas Lydia Ko could hardly make one.
She looks like she's swinging it really nicely though, Lydia. Very well balanced. In control.
$150 for Boutier. Just coming out of the semi-rough. It looked like it was sat down a bit. Had to dig at it. Got a bit of a jump up.
All the adrenaline, all the excitement, it's just all seeped out now. How big a... Is that her tee shot down there? That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
I think she's had enough. She's just got the driver out and bashed it over everything. Just a lob wedge pitching it in.
Baby.
I think we'll see her maybe going for the last and two.
Yeah, 402 yards this hole was playing, and what did she have in there? 50 yards, something like that?
300-yard drive, yeah.
I think the real advantage we can just carry those bunkers on the left when you've got that carry.
Well, that is the talent that she has. She hasn't managed to hone it all yet. I mean, she did call it a day in 2019, announced her retirement, but played really well when she came back on the Symetra Tour, as it was then, the Epsom Tour now.
Knight's third to 18.
The TV just makes that little back section look much wider than it really is. Or it appears maybe for the players.
It's so good to see the fans back. I know we've been saying it for a while now, but at this Women's Scottish Open, we haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, and credit, this event was put on for the last 2 years without any spectators, when everyone else was saying, I don't think we can run an event. The Scottish Open was always on the calendar.
Yeah, this is the 20th edition now, 6th time co-sanction between the LPGA and Ladies European Tours. And I suppose at the start of the day we'd have picked out a Japanese potential champion. Maybe Nasa Hataoka would have probably first come to mind.
Yeah, she probably would. She's won a few times on the LPGA now, so, and she's capable of going low.
They've got a lovely demeanour, haven't they, the Japanese? They're very calm, but they've got the soft smile as well. Shibono, Nasa, and now Furuwe.
Yeah, I think outwardly you never really see them losing, you know, getting annoyed or losing their temper, but perhaps inside they maybe do.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, as a player yourself, Katrina, you did give much away as well. You had a lovely demeanour out on the course, but I'm sure inside as well.
Bubbling underneath sometimes.
I'm sure. Well, BTA trying to stay focused here. At the moment, sharing second place with Hyoju Kim after that 3-putt on the last green.
This one coming back down the slope. Wind is into her face. still will be reasonably quick.
Record at the Women's Open is surprisingly not that good. Celine Boutier. She's had 4 starts at the Women's Open. She's missed 3 cuts. She did finish 6th one year, but that was at Woburn. But on links layout, she's missed the cut every time. And this is from a player that won the Women's Amateur at Port Stewart. So yeah,
I'm surprised at that actually, because she really plots her way around a golf course well, which in links golf you have to do to avoid the the fairway bunkers, and a nice low ball flight for windy weather.
Well, it's been a really impressive week from Wushini Mishai. Tournament invite, and she really has relished playing at Dundonald Links this week. Maybe had hopes of a breakthrough win herself earlier in the day.
Lydia Ko, right to left putt. It's been one of those weekends for the world number 4.
Yeah, maybe she's saving them all up for.
Maybe
for
she's got the line now.
Yeah, she's made friends again with the line on the ball, hasn't she? Got rid of it earlier in the round. It wasn't working.
What a good few weeks it's been as well for Shine Knight. Player who struggled a little bit last year. Felt burnt out. Played a lot of events and wasn't really threatening. And what a fabulous finish that is. That gets her into a share of second place. That is worth a lot of dollars.
That's her best finish of the season on the LPGA Tour, no matter what. Individually, anyway.
Yeah, all coming together for her. Top 20 last week in Evian. You mentioned in the pairs event alongside Sokol, finished 4th. So a really good few weeks.
Just could not convert that booming drive. That look in her eyes as to say, here we go, that's another one missed.
Matooka for her birdie.
Total misread there.
After missing a couple of short ones, she's just left herself that awkward distance.
Patrick can sit, relax, prepare the speech. .62, the lowest round of her career on the LPGA Tour. I mean, she shot a 63 last week to open up with in Evian. I mean, she has, I think, shot 63 a few times already in the short time that she has been out on tour.
It's a tough thing to do, to go really low, actually, as a player. Sometimes you can get 4 or 5 birdies, and then just to keep going is sometimes difficult, so...
Okay, she's got that one, Hatooka. That's around a 68.
It's hard to play golf with no limits, isn't it?
It is.
And you can just hear Wushini Mishai tapping in as well. Confirmation that she has won one of those AIG Women's Open spots and will be heading off to Muirfield instead of to North Berwick, where she would have been if she hadn't got one of them.
It's a shame she's not playing North Berwick.
Yeah.
But Muirfield's a pretty good there.
Not a bad consolation prize.
No, it's like I played there actually last week. It's looking fantastic actually.
You know, that striving for the Olympics last year. I wonder whether that kind of stopped her getting as many wins as she would hope. She had a lot of top tens in Japan, but maybe she just wanted it too much. Once the Olympics was out of the way, she then won 3 times in Japan, came through the Q Series and on the LPGA Tour, and now here she is as a champion. It's been great to be back at Dundonald Links, first time since 2017. We've had confirmation today that the 2023 Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open will be played here as well. Since we were last here, there's been a big $25 million redevelopment. Spent money on the course, but a lot of it off the course. A new clubhouse. They've made 76 rooms on site, number of lodges that have their own putting greens as well. And here's the new clubhouse I was just mentioning.
Yeah, it's a lovely clubhouse. I love the hickory clubs on the ceiling. And you get a great view down over 9 and 18. They've really done it very nicely.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot there on the balcony.
I've spent a little bit of time there this week watching them coming down 9 and 18.
Yeah, not quite as glamorous in our commentary booth here, Katrina, but you'll be heading back there, I'm sure, after we're finished.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the players will be delighted when they know it's coming back here next year. I think they've all enjoyed the golf course. The food's been tremendous in the clubhouse.
And it's, you know...
It's little things like that, I think, that the players like.
Yeah, and in terms of, you know, coming the week before the Women's Open in the same way the Men's Scottish Open is before the Open, I think, you know, it's a good test. But, you know, obviously it's weather dependent, but it's not a golf course that's going to, you know, knock them out too badly ahead of a big week as well.
And it just gives you, the players who aren't used to links golf, you know, a little bit of preparation for going into the major.
So Inhiji managing to come out of the long grass. She'll know all about Ayaka Fudaway. She had to beat her in that final in Las Vegas to win again on the LPGA Tour this year. Lydia Vu also played very well that week too. I think she made the semi-final.
On a completely different kind of golf course.
Yes, completely.
It's a 24-year-old having a go at this one. She's got the 3-wood. Sorry, the hybrid. And that is an absolute wonderful shot. She's got this 16-degree hybrid. It's really low loft, and she's found that green. We haven't seen that much this week.
That's the best shot we've seen in there.
Started crumbling on 16.
Well, it's been a really good year for Lydia Vu. Not quite happy, in the same way as Lydia Ko, really, just not really found the birdies over these last 2 days. Lydia Vu 3 birdies today, just the 1 yesterday. It was a very cool morning when the players headed out just after midday today. It was still pretty overcast, but warming up, and now it's turned into a gorgeous summer's afternoon and evening.
Just want to go at that far bunker down long left. It's 311 to that.
And I think after that hit, she will be going for the green in 2. Certainly a week to build on for LeBlanc.
3-way tie in second at the moment at -17, so a birdie gets Boutier second alone.
Birdie here will be worth about $40,000 to her.
That would make the drive over to Muirfield feel a whole lot better.
She could buy the car to drive over.
So the final 3 ball make their way down 18, a little further up. Oh, well, no, yes.
That little bit of rough saved her.
It did. I mean, you can just about get a full foot in that burn, but it seems to suck in the golf balls. Well, Ayaka Fudawa's had... Oh, there you go. That's the only harm. Apparently there for 2, so she's just avoided it.
Could be an interesting stance, though, couldn't it, for this chip?
At the moment, she's tied for 9th, Leonie Harm. And a birdie here. I mean, there's a lot of players at 13 under, so this is worth a lot. If she can get up and down here, she'll join Wishini Mishai at 14 under par. Over day 1, we saw Emily Pedersen chip it in. She was from a much trickier position.
Hey, look at her stance. She's had to go so open here.
She
you could present the hustle here, couldn't you?
Yeah, she could nearly actually. I just thought have 1 foot on either side of the burn.
You've got that face so open, and then you're aiming way left. It's basically like, here's the heel and here's the hosel. That is not what you fancy. Got to keep the weight on the left side because the ball is on the downslope. Unfortunately, that's where the burn is, though. Looks like she's playing away from the flag.
She might be safer just trying to chip it a wee bit left of the flag and give herself a 10-15 footer.
A little bit like that.
If he leaves that short just on the brow of the hill where it goes dark there, it could spin back and it could go down by where her playing partner was there.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's wanting a birdie to get out of that log jam, but you don't want to make a hash of the hole, do you?
No, but a top 10 here should take her just about inside the top 10 on the race to Costa del Sol. The rankings for the Ladies European Tour started the week at 14th. And she'll feel confident heading to Muirfield. Finished 7th at Carnoustie last year, Leonie Harm.
Just pitch this one short of halfway and let it roll down. It's a really undulating green, this 18th. It's one of the longest, at 47 yards from back to front. It's skinny and, as I say, humps and bumps all over the place.
It's one of these holes you feel you should birdie every time you play it, but there's trouble lurking.
Former world #1 amateur, the #1 player last season on the Epsom Tour. Having a very solid campaign. It's Harm to putt first.
It is, yeah, Harm before the eagle try of Lilia Vu. Slow to start with. And then it will pick up pace as she's missed it down the low side. It's just catching that slope.
Well, a couple of years ago, just down the road from here, we had a German winner of the AIG Women's Open at Troon. Boutier laying up. Lydia Ko's also played a second here already.
This for a 3.
No.
Well, positive vibes for Lydia Vu in her first trip to Scotland. She'll head off to Muirfield, hoping to be in the frame again. Birdie finish, 14 under par. That leaves her in a share of 8th place. And we've seen quite a bit of Leonie Harm, haven't we, over the last month? She's been a real joy to watch. She wears a heart on her sleeve. She's a great character, fine golfer.
I think she's wishing she hadn't hit that putt 5 foot past.
I'm sure she is.
That's exactly what she's thinking.
You never want to leave yourself that for par, do you, on the last round?
No, with this being a co-sanctioned event, the money is significant.
And the points as well. The points are more than they would be for a standard Ladies European Tour event in terms of the rankings. And I'm afraid that's been Eunhee Ji's back 9. She was one of those contending halfway through this, but she's played the back 9 in 39 shots. And that's going to leave her in a share of 16th place at 11 under.
And with a leaderboard which is so jam-packed, you can really fall out of it. It costs you a lot of points and money.
Now,
Come on, let's knock it in. Nice way to finish.
And left to right.
Well played.
Well done.
yeah, well done indeed. It'll be a big experience for Leonie Harm. First time in an LPGA Tour event in amongst the contenders. She's done it a fair few times already on the LET without winning yet. But her game is coming a long way over the last few months.
Yeah, you're starting to see her name more and more up the leaderboard.
I think she's one of these players that she will have a good week. She'll miss a cut. She's quite like that, and
Can't believe she laid up. I mean, I can understand it from her point of view. Disappointing from ours. Thought she might have a dig.
Yeah, I thought for sure, because she looked really pleased with her tee shot. She knew what she was doing.
Indeed. You know, and this is important for her. I mean, this will be her 3rd top 10 of the year, and it should be enough to secure her finishing in the top 80 on the LPGA
Which is
Tour
huge,
rankings.
because that then gives you your card for the next year. So I can
And she's never
fully
done that before,
understand, 'cause
Katrina.
it's a tough second shot to go for.
Yeah, when you've never, you know, you're 33.
When you've not been
and
up there,
yeah.
she's not going to win. You're playing for the position.
Well, she nearly holed it from this kind of distance yesterday, although this is in the semi-rough.
I was just about to say, needs to land it 7 yards short. She landed it 9 and not quite there today.
This was a big shot for Celine.
We'll be able to get far more control from a tighter lie. Just to nip this lob wedge in there.
What a day that promised so much for Celine Boutier. It's going to end with at least something positive at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she'll be disappointed at not winning.
food away. From all of us here, bye-bye for now.